Hello, good evening from the Sydney Opera House, where I'm currently sitting in one of the dressing rooms just before going on for a show. Well, actually, truth be told, I'm not conducting the show. I'm assisting the fantastic Mark Wigglesworth, and I'm about to watch a concert of Brahms and Wagner, and a new trombone concerto by Carl Vine. I don't really have guilty pleasures in music, if I'm honest. I have quite a wide range of musical taste, and I'm relatively proud of that. I certainly have a lot of pleasures in music, but I wouldn't really say any of them are guilty. Can I answer that question for the sake of answering the question? Probably not. No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to be boring. My favorite artist in any genre, that's, wow. What a question. I'm not sure. Possibly Strauss. Possibly Strauss. Oh, it would be an awfully long concert. Um, Strauss, for sure. Definitely. Probably Strauss, Haydn, and Schoenberg. Though which particular works, I probably couldn't say. Maybe the Farewell Symphony, Schoenberg's First Chamber Symphony, and Alpine Symphony, Strauss. That would be an amazing program. It involves conducting a concert, definitely. It involves possibly some travel, though whether or not that's possible in a day, I'm not sure. And ideally trying something new, something that I haven't done before. Oh, that sounds such a ludicrous thing to say, but it's true. My biggest peeve, you're going to turn me into a grumpy old man, so I'm going to restrain from that and choose one, for which I learned a really great word recently, which is ultra-crepidarian, which is defined as someone who gives opinions on something which they're not qualified to give opinions on. After a long day, what do? I either read a book, I'm being very honest here, play PlayStation, or watch a movie, probably. Watch TV. I really like Gogglebox. I shouldn't say that, but I really do. This project's really exciting. I mean, I get to work with Imogen Hancock, who's a fantastic musician and a very good friend of mine, and I'm looking forward to working with her. I've never worked with Alex before, but I can't wait to start that relationship. I love working with new music. It's something I'm really passionate about and something I believe in strongly. And I can't wait to watch this piece develop to the point where we perform it for the audience in January 2018. So I'm going to look right at the camera and say, "You're looking lovely today." Is that what you want? Passion, love, and enjoyment, and a belief that music has something life-changing and world-changing to offer. As a kid, answering back without a shadow of a doubt, there is not a school report of mine that doesn't compliment me in some way for academic process or progress, and then condemn me for talking too much, answering back. I was constantly in detention for wanting to know why. Why was I in trouble? Why? What had I done? Why was this the way that it was? Why had you explained something this way? And every time I asked why too many times, the teacher would respond invariably, or at least the ones that were unable to respond in another way would respond by putting me on detention. And that happened, maybe not daily, but not far off, if I'm completely honest. My favourite sight is probably London, if I'm honest. Walking down a street in London and watching the history and the modernity and people and just what London has to visually offer. I'm not sure I have a favourite sound, if I'm honest. Frying bacon is such a boring answer, isn't it? Frying bacon, frying onion, good coffee. It's all food, really. All food. Well, the taste of all the things that I just smelt. would do just fine.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Sydney Symphony Orchestra and Maestro Wigglesworth, this is your first call to the concert hall platform, your first call. This evening's performance will commence in 10 minutes. Thank you.
That's a really hard question to answer. What would I like to be remembered for? I think by my peers, I'd like to be remembered for being hardworking, respectful, and thoughtful, I suppose. By posterity, changing the world for the better. I mean, isn't that everyone's goal to an extent? Having something to say on an important issue and sticking to my guns. Providing opportunities for people who otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunities. That would be wonderful. I would like to think that I could hopefully do that. But basically just leaving something for the world that it didn't have before of benefit, I think. That would be nice. Yeah, I do have a lot of orchestras, don't I? I guess I'm a bit of an entrepreneur. I enjoy creating my own chances. I figured quite early on that no one else was going to do it for me, at least not at a very early stage. And so I decided that it was down to me. So I created, or was party in creating, several different groups. Yeah, it's something I strongly recommend to anyone who's trying to start up in conducting. What is it exactly I do? Thanks. I'm beginning to compare it to being a film, not a film, though it could be a film, a theatre director. You're given this incredible work of art, this piece of genius, and it's your role, I think, to convince the audience that it's worthwhile, and hopefully show the audience something new in it that they hadn't heard or seen before. Yeah, I do. Well, a little bit. I have a nice story actually to end this off in relation to wizardry. I did a concert here a couple of weeks ago at the Sydney Symphony Orchestra. I was wearing these very glasses, and it was a sports concert. And I was wearing a scarf, which was the Australian rugby scarf, which anyone who knows these things will know this bright yellow. And I was told afterwards by someone in the orchestra that the moment I walked onto the stage, a small child in the front row turned to his or her mother, and said, "Look, Mummy, he's in Hufflepuff." So I guess it's hard not to feel like a wizard after a comment like that, isn't it? I hope you'll come to our concert in January 2018. I hope you'll follow the process with us until it becomes a reality. And I hope you enjoy the creation of a new work of art as much as everyone on this project will do. Thank you for watching, and wonderful to meet you.